I'm Nissa from Wild Earth Travel. Our travellers are drawn to Alaska time and time again for its breathtaking wilderness, abundant wildlife, and rich cultural heritage. The state's vast landscapes, from glaciers to forests, offer stunning backdrop to active adventures such as hiking or kayaking. Wildlife, including brown bears and humpback whales, attract nature enthusiasts, while Alaska's indigenous cultures provide a deep and enriching connection to the land. Today, we talk to one of our most popular local partners, Alaskan Dream, about getting off Alaska's beaten path for an authentic and in-depth discovery. Zach is Alaskan Dream's Chief Marketing Officer, but also a naturalist and a ship captain. He is an Alaskan native and passionate about sharing his backyard.
We are Alaska's only indigenous-owned cruise line, and we're really proud of that fact. When people come with us, they're supporting an authentic, family-owned Alaska experience, and our company's founders and owner are of the Tlingit tribe. And so they have a deep understanding of, the land and its people. They're also, as I mentioned before, pioneers of Southeast Alaska boat tours. So while this company, Alaskan Dream Cruises, started in 2011, the tours that they've been running began in 1970. So we have been around showcasing our backyard for a long time and one of the premier tour operators. And so they wanted to, get into kind of taking people even further off the beaten path and spending more time. And that's what launched us into the small ship cruise line. And that picture of the totem pole is actually in the founder's front yard.
Oh.
The middle figure is a man holding a canoe in his hands. That represents the family's history of boat building. So we also have a shipyard. We didn't build the Alaskan Dream Cruises boats, but we do a lot of renovations and things. We're our own own and operate our own shipyard. So we are just so proud to be what I call Alaska's small ship cruise line because we are native owned. First, talk about where to get our bearings. So this is the state of Alaska, a massive state. And we are talking about, you probably can't see my cursor, but the southeast region. So down there, kind of the lower right, at archipelago of islands, which is called Alexander Archipelago. Sitka is on Baranof Island, which is a little island kind of on the outside coast, just under the words Alexander Archipelago. But all of that group of islands, that it constitutes the Inside Passage. So when you hear about Alaska's famed Inside Passage, that's what we're talking about. And all of our sailings end or begin or end in either Sitka, Juneau, or Ketchikan. So that's a question we get a lot. People say, how do we get there? Is it hard to get there? Does it originate in Seattle? It doesn't originate in Seattle, but it is easy to get there. When in the summer, we've got both Alaska Airlines and Delta Airlines, so major airlines that are flying nonstop flights into these places. And so it's really an easy connection once you get yourself to Seattle. And so when it comes to our itineraries, our idea is how do we showcase the true Alaska? We do that through unique itineraries, through our active exploration, and through our onboard atmosphere, which I'll talk about. But here is one sample itinerary. So I believe this year in 24, we have 5 itineraries, and we have a few new ones for 25. So I think it'll put us at 7 itineraries. This one is called the Alaska's Inside Passage Sojourn. So you see it originating from Ketchikan, going to Metlakatla, which is a small native village. Misty Fjords is a national monument. Kasan, Wrangell, these real small towns. And also Alaska, they're Alaska native villages, many of them. And then places like Tracy Arm and Glacier Bay, so beautiful tidewater glaciers and icebergs, cliffs and waterfalls. Juneau is kind of our only, what I would call standard cruising port. Although we have additional things like our own infrastructure. Orca Point Lodge is our own day lodge, where I'll show you a few pictures of that. So Yeah, the immersion into Alaska Native villages, experiencing the inspiring way the indigenous people of Alaska are connected to the land and sea. Um, in fact, we have an exclusive partnership to visit the Alaska Native village of Kasan, which you see on day 3. We are the only cruise line that call in that port. So this goes back to just our connection, being locals and being able to show people the true Alaska. This is a picture of a dance group in Metlakatla. And then, of course, everyone wants the wildlife. It's one of the top reasons people come here. And because, as I mentioned, our long history, our extensive operations in Southeast Alaska, it really has given us invaluable insight into wildlife hotspots and patterns. And so we're really clued in to where things are happening. And here's some famous Alaska critters you have a chance to see, I would say, and a very good chance. And of course, the marine life, humpback whales, harbor seals, sea otters. Those are stellar sea lions down on the buoy. A big part is just getting into remote wilderness bays, right? Away from everybody, kayaking, hearing that, calm water hitting your paddle, and just the wilderness oasis experience. Is a big part of what we do. These are just some of my favorite wilderness bay shots that have come across through the years. So you can imagine, I actually don't know if that's dusk or dawn, but waking up or falling to sleep to a setting like that. And a few glacial fjords, which we talked about, those areas that we travel. So if you look across our array of itineraries, we've got places like Sitka, Cake, Petersburg, Juneau, Wrangell, Kasan, Metlakatla, Ketchikan, Pelican. Some of the, like Pelican, that last example, it has, I think, something like 70, maybe under 100 or around 100 year-round residents. Tiny little places that have boardwalk roads. There's not pavement. It's these boardwalks and just nothing more Alaskan really than getting into some of these small places and meeting the locals. There are 3 cultures. So the Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian. Our owners are Tlingit, but the Haida and Tsimshian, we share that culture as well, or rather, we mostly allow the guides in these places to share those cultures. And so the cultural immersion is really important. This is our hometown right here in Sitka with famous Mount Edgecumbe volcano in the background. I love this picture just because it shows some of the small harbors we visit and kind of what we're talking about. This is not, by any stretch of the imagination, traditional cruising.
No.
And then there are a few, like we have one itinerary, our 5-night, that goes to Skagway, which is a historic gold rush community, and it is more on the beaten path, but give guests that are interested in that kind of thing a chance to pick that itinerary. This is downtown Juneau. This is the lodge that I mentioned. So, we're really unique in that we have this different infrastructure, and it makes us unique in the landscape of small ship cruising here, that we can pop in. We're not spending the night at the lodge. We're just pulling into the dock, and guests can go have a beachside fire, enjoy the warmth of the lodge, enjoy an Alaskan treat. And it's just one of our ports of call that we include on many itineraries. Here's some marshmallow roasting. We like to do s'mores. If you're not familiar with s'mores, that's when you crunch a marshmallow and chocolate between 2 graham crackers. I grew up knowing what s'more is, but apparently some people do not know what a s'more is, and so I'm careful with that. I don't know what down where you are. Okay, so this is just from the beach there at the lodge, beach combing, just beautiful views. And some itineraries feature another one of our lodges, Finn Island, which is outside of Sitka. This one is outside of Juneau. But I am careful, as I teach people about our product. When you hear the word lodge, sometimes it's like, oh, we're getting off the boat or we're sleeping in it. And it's just a day use lodge. So in the evening after, maybe the sun sets and you're ready to retire to bed, because the sun sets very late sometimes. So oftentimes you probably want to go to bed before it sets. But then you board the vessel and are on your way. This is a little marine life touch tank at the lodge.
Nice.
And there you go.
Yep.
Sometimes crab. One thing, we got together this off season with the owner, and he really wanted to know, like, what do Alaskans, we are Alaska's cruise line, what do we like to do and how can we translate to the guests? So now on every itinerary, we're offering this remote beach campfire experience just to get off the boat onto those skiffs, those ocean air inflatables or ocean going inflatables, open air is what I meant. And just get onto the beach and sit. You can kind of picture yourself from this vantage point, sitting by that warm, glowing fire and just exploring. And it's a simple thing, but we found that people think it's really relaxing and really fun. So. Oh, there's the s'mores. This is kayaking outside of outside of Ketchikan in Misty Fjords National Monument. That island is called New Eddystone. So you'll find this on a few of our itineraries that go down to Ketchikan. We realize not everyone is super comfortable at first on kayaks, and so that you don't have to kind of balance one foot on the boat and try to put one foot in a kayak. We made these really easy, safe loading and unloading launchers. So from the stability of the main big vessel, you can get on and they'll just gently roll you down into the ocean so that you don't have to worry about that. We work with the Forest Service for access to remote hiking. So hiking, kayaking, those skiff rides, they're all three important parts of what we do. And it is a temperate rainforest, the largest national forest in the nation. So here are some folks enjoying that old growth forest. And I hope that you can see that just all these are handpicked by the Allen family who started this company many years ago based on their own lifetime adventures. And not just them, their ancestors, right? It really goes, as they would say in the culture, they've been around since time immemorial, meaning, since we knew people were around, we have been in this place, which is, wow, I think, really inspiring. Yeah. Okay, I know we don't have tons of time, so let me just hit a few things on life aboard. Our mission is really to provide a world-class, of course, safety is always our number one thing. We'll never gonna keep or take our eye off the ball when it comes to safety. That is our number one priority. But second in line is going to be world-class guest experiences and being we're local hosts and we want everyone to know that when you come to Alaska, it is a relaxed ambiance, but it's a professional ambiance. So I really like to make the point that there aren't any formal evenings. There's no ball gowns or suits. There is no dress code whatsoever. You can come as you are, wear jeans, wear sweatpants, whatever you want to wear. That's kind of the Alaska lifestyle. And in fact, we have a policy where you can go and enjoy the wheelhouse even.
Wow.
And talk to the captain, talk to the crew. Of course, we'll shut that down if there's a navigational concern or they're docking. But that's just one more kind of way we present the Alaska lifestyle. And meals are all in open seating dining rooms, feature a variety of menu options. Our eye is strongly on sustainable Alaska seafood or other Alaska dishes. There's some famous king salmon on the right and doing a little fillet demonstration. And so these locally harvested specialties may include things like king salmon, halibut, rockfish, shrimp, and just a few more pictures. So I always like to say, because sometimes in every crowd, it seems like there's the people that don't eat or don't love fish. And so we do have turf options. And then beyond that, people that don't eat meat. So we've got veggie options or vegan options, and we cover that gamut. Any food allergy you may have, we ask it on the guest information form, and we mark that down so that we can still serve you delicious meals according to your own needs and preferences. These are our 4 vessels. Admiralty Dream, Baranof Dream, Chichikov Dream, and Alaskan Dream. So the Admiralty and the Baranof are 49 passengers. The Chichikov is 80, and the Alaskan Dream is our smallest at 40 passengers. And because these are really nimble, small boats, we can go venture into places that few Alaska travelers have a chance to experience. And then, of course, to make the expeditions even more exciting, we have expedition craft like kayaks, and these are Zodiac style vessels that are called dibs, but ocean inflatables to get off the small ship and to venture even further. Another look at those expedition skiffs there, watching a humpback whale. Every vessel features a variety of stateroom categories. This here is I believe this is a double A picture, but all of our website has the spectrum of the staterooms, so you can go check that out. And we like to have those little touches. So, the bed scarf was designed by a local Alaska Native artist. It's in a traditional form line. Even complimentary Alaska-made body washes and shampoos, just to infuse the Alaskan spirit into everything we do.
Yeah.
Every stateroom has an ocean view window. We offer complimentary rain gear. So here's just a look at like the rain jacket, rain boots.
Yeah.
I always tell people, if you have a favorite pair, especially like a jacket, I would bring it. These are certainly here for use, but you're going to be active and you're going to be hiking and on kayaks. And so if you have a favorite waterproof jacket, I would bring it. It's all about layering in Alaska. Layering is kind of the name of the game. It's what we all do. So bring base layers because it can get warm. I mean, I think tomorrow, this is a perfect example. Today, it's like 50 degrees and drizzling.
Mm-hmm.
In the coming days, it's supposed to be almost 70.
Yeah.
And so Alaska, just this temperate climate does that. And you want to be prepared with layers for the array that we may get. And then binoculars are part. So just a few more slides that show kind of interiors. Educational enrichment is a huge part of what we do. Talk about the culture, talk about the wildlife, the biology, the geology. So some great onboard guides and naturalists. And just a few more pictures. Oh yeah, don't forget the killer whale club, jump into the water. This is quite the picture.
Been quite nice.
Yeah. So I may have gone too long-winded, I may have gone too in-depth, but I'll just stop by saying here are some of the awards recently. These are, in the States, some major publications.